G'day, it's Tonk here. Just thought today I'd do a little bit of a mix and match. I'll go through what spares I take. You know, roughly I take more gear than this, but this is just a few of the ones. I'll go through the boat and the boat trailer. And then I'll go through the Toyota, what I take for the Toyota. If I miss anything, I apologise. It's because I take a fair bit of gear when I go north. Now righto, I'll just start off. I use these, I'm not, I buy everything because everybody else does a lot of the time now these days. I found these Tactic boxes pretty good. I used to have this style box here, but lets the water into they're 100 litre, but it lets the water in. They were just as good a box, just as strong. But I went to these because all the holes are on the outside. See, all the out where the water goes. The only spot it might get in, but it doesn't, is that one. It runs past in the handle. I've had them out in the boat, full of gear and pouring down rain, no trouble. And they clip up, clip them up. But just, just your usual safety gear, spark plugs, a little Gerber, V-sheet, mirrors, a couple of starter cords, pulled, that come with the motor, spark plug spinners, Indate flares, of course. I have that in this box. Then I have the Indate fire extinguisher. My life jackets are here somewhere too. There's stuff here that this is what I carry in this box here. This is what I take. That's mainly. I wrap that fire extinguisher up in that rag so it keeps it. Also, what goes in this box here is I take a spare filter, spare set of brushes for the motor, for the starter motor. I had trouble there a couple of years ago. That's an old filter, but what I generally do is that's an old filter, but what I'll do this time is I bought a new one. I'll fit the new one, and then I'll have a look, and if there's I take a spare. So bug spray, another water pump impeller for the 60, then a heap of hose. I take all different size hoses, fuel hose, heaps of different ends, same ends, for the 60. That's fishing gear related. The manuals on the 60 and my spare motor, I'll show you. I take this. I take an auxiliary motor as well, a little 5.8 two-stroke Parson. Beautiful little motor, little Chinese Yamaha knockoff. If you've ever tried to start, these ones have a mini fuel tank on the top, which you just turn on the tap and that here, and then also you can go straight on here with the Yamaha connection. It goes in there, and you can, as long as you carry, and I normally do, I carry a couple of litres of oil with me, and you just mix her up at 50 to 80 to 100 to 1. They seem to run on that all right. Yeah, that's a great little thing. I feel so safe when I got that with me. That's only, it's only just run in. It's how many hours I've done. I bought it brand new off BCF. Thanks, Youngie. Yeah, no. Also, I take spare prop. I got a nut and washer and truss washer somewhere, but I'll have to track it down. I take that too. A heap of gloves. I take up a 12-volt welding system. This is the lead I use, and it clips onto the battery, see? I take the earth off my welder over here and take that earth with me. That's there. I take a little chainsaw. Then this is all my Makita gear I take. My grinder, my circular saw, blower. And in here too, sorry, there might be, no, somewhere here's a reciproco saw I take too. Oh, I'll have to track that one down. I don't know where my reciproco saw is. That's strange. Oh well, I don't use it much, but That's generally the one I take. Pop rivet gun, like I said, drill, impact, little impact gun, 3 batteries, a charger. You know, you take a couple of tanks, fuel, extra fuel jerrys, little complete tool kit, a couple of shifters. This end here is, you know, it's got all the little screwdriver ends in it as well. Take that battery charger, but that's mainly for the boat. Oh, my boat goes on that, tied on that leg there, support the leg and strap it up. What else? Oh, I'll take out for the boat. I have a trailer, I have an extra spare. I carry 3 spares when I go north, 2 on the truck, 1 in the boat. If I go on really remote, like right up into the Gulf or something, or I might go to the Kimberleys this year, I might chuck in a spare back spring, and I take a spare. This is a spare spring from my trailer. It takes front springs out of a Land Cruiser. And then I've got U-bolts and shackles and all goes in for the trailer. What else do I take for the boat? That's about it for the boat. Yeah, just the fuel filters. I take a spare fuel filter, I put a new one on, and I take a, and I spake a, like I said, an oil filter as well up there with me. And I only fish with hand lines, so 3 or 4 hand lines. Like I said, heap of bungs, different spark plug spinners. I generally put a new set of spark plugs in and keep the old ones. There's nothing wrong with them, but they might just play up. I take that as spare. Okay. Well, there's my life jackets. I put them in this bag here. See, keeps the sun off them. Oh, that one's getting a bit, needs replacing. But then I take this esky and I put, getting away from the boat, I always say put in, I take a funnel. And what I do for the fuel, if I'm really worried about the fuel, if it looks a bit worried, I get a white bucket like this and I clean that right up, and I sacrifice one of these buckets and I tip all my fuel into a white bucket like that, and all your water and stuff sinks to the bottom of that bucket. And then you tip that off into that funnel, and you generally have no trouble in that remote country. And see that when you tip that in that bucket like that too, although these filters are, what are they? 30 micron, are they? Doesn't say. Water separation. Anyway, they generally take the dust out too that you get up there. It gets all that dust, like see on this one here, you get all the dust around your jerry cans and a bit of that gets in them. That's a good idea to pour it in a bucket like that, and that'll let that all settle in them. Just tip it in there, stir it around a bit and let it settle. All that dust and water and heavy stuff just goes straight to the bottom. What else do I take? Oh, it's WD-40. But that's about it for the outboard. I give her a service before I go, new oil and filters and everything, and change the leg oil. Like I said, sort of a bit of a mix and match. I'll open the back of the truck here later and I'll put this away, and then I'll go through what the spares I take for the Toyota. I take heaps of stuff for it too. But I had it out here, I sat it out here before and went to film it and it started raining, so I'm sorry if it's dark in here. But yeah. Oh yeah, you know, that's got to do with camping. I take my compressor and my camp oven. But take a heap of drums. I don't know what I'm doing this year. I don't know whether I'm going to go up to the Kimberleys and come back, or go to up to Penny, up above Weeper there, and then leave there and go back around through the Gulf. I just don't know. You got trouble when you get back to the Northern Territory. You can't go from Queensland in the Northern Territory and then you can't take bait or a rifle or anything in the WA without a permit. I'm sure you can't take bait. So, and I always like to take my squid with me. I take up 8 or 10 kilos of nice trawler squid and some green prawns, and so I might actually go up to Penny, Bay at April, and then come around the Gulf and go that way and come home. Anyway, that's getting a bit off the topic, but other than that, I just take some spare oil that fits the Toyota and fits the outboard. What else? I thought I had more gear for the boat, but realistically they're either running or they're not, so there's not a lot of stuff. I've never had much trouble so far, so that's what I said. I've got that little auxiliary that just gives you that peace of mind, and I just got to have that bit of 2-stroke oil, a litre or 2 with me to mix up. Oh yeah, actually I take a bit more than that. I got a 4 litre, sorry. Oh, this one, yeah. I take that 4 litre with me, and I take this big old 100 litre Trailblazer, that little fridge over there, and then I've got the all goes, but that's generally what I take for the boat. And with these Yemis, the Yemi 60s, if you know, they got a special socket. I think it's, what size is it? I can't remember. 18 fits the spark plugs, and then on a normal socket, see what I've done there? You've got to grind the corners off it, get it down so it fits down in where the spark plugs are, otherwise it won't fit in. I'm not sure whether this one of these would fit it, but I'm not sure if it's the right size. This one fits something else. Probably that one, that motor there, or something else. I've got to get round before I go, and I've got to put a new impeller in this one. Before I go, like I said, I put that new impeller into the 60. Then I've got to get a new impeller kit, even though this has done no work, but it's 2 or 3 years old, so the impeller will be starting to get fold. They fold over and then they snap off. So I'll put a new impeller in that too. They're a shite of a thing. I should do a video on how to get there. Oh, it took me a couple of hours to actually get that sorted out, how to get that one apart. Or maybe not 2 hours, but getting it back together was the worst, and getting it apart was easy. Getting it back together, there's 2 little selector shifters for the gears. Oh yeah, and I take two more screwdrivers just before I go, and a couple of little bits more spanners. But you know, you can do a fair bit with, as long as you've got 10, 12, 14, 16, and being Japanese. You can. But like I said, I'll put all this back in here now into this box. And that's on the boat. That comes on the boat with us. That just stays in the boat. Fishing gloves. I need a few, before I go this time, I need a few new ones of them, because when you hand line and they cut through where you want them on the fingers. He's not too bad, that one. They flop and get hooked up in the hooks. Cut through. I got to get some more jerry cans for petrol. I probably need 6 or 8 for diesel. Just depends where I'm going. Like I said, that's my hand line up there. I've got to get some more 130 pound line for my hand lines for the blueies. Then I come back to about 80 for the sweet lip and trout, and hopefully this time I'll get on some. What else do I take over here? Oh, here we go. For the truck, I'll take these spare flop and brake fluids, spare fuel filters. Oh yeah, I chuck that. Also, I take this soldering iron. I take one of these. Everybody's seen one of these little blowgun torches. I take that. Most people use them for lighting fires, but mine's that's for soldering, putting on Anderson plugs. I take a roll of solder. Like I said, that little inverter that'll run, little 200-300 watt inverter that'll run me soldering iron. It'll run me charger for the batteries. Oh, I take the grease gun, a couple of tubes of grease, and my McNaught grease gun, so I can grease things. Because I give the truck a grease before I go, and one before I leave up there. Come home. Oh, that tin over there is generally full of these. See these bolts here? You go to the Toyota, you go to the wreckers, you go in and ask for a bucket bag of bolts, and for 5 or 10, I don't know, but they might be 30 bucks these days. They just scoop them off the floor with a shovel or a dustpan, and it's got all your 14 mils and sizes and 10 mil bolts and oh, everything. Yeah, it's just awesome for around a Toyota. Oh, plus in there I got a full set of wheel nuts for the Toyota and trailer. Oh, that's what I take too. I take bearings for the boat trailer, U-bolts, like I said, spare spring. Oh, where do you stop? But you know, I've never had. You can take that much gear, but even there I take bloody 3 tyres. There's 100 and nearly 100 kilos of tyres, 110 kilos of tyres. Just goes on. Yeah, you just, where to stop. But anyway, I'll switch this off and I'll drag me stuff out of the Toyota and show you what I have in that to take. I'll put this away. What else do I take? Oh, I take gear for that. I take synthetic bar oil. I take 2 straight for the chainsaw. These things here, if you've never used it. Spark plug spanner for the chainsaw. This thing here for the chainsaw, the still. Oh, it turns the file and it takes the rakers down at the same time. God, I'm hopeless at sharpening. You buy them at Still, they were about 60, 80 bucks. But you put new, it goes one way or the other. There's 2 files in it. And it turns that file. I'm up for new files. And it's that one there, it takes the rakers down as well as sharpens. And that gives you the right angle and the teeth. Oh, I've, on that chainsaw there, is about 5, 6 years old. And it's the original bar and original chain, and I've cut 30 big palm trees down here with it, 30 or 40 big palm trees when I bought this block. Then I ripped them all down the guts, and then in that what do I say, 5 or 6 years, it's cut at least a ton of firewood up the Cape when I've been up there camping as well on that original chain. Because I run that good, clean, sticky synthetic bar oil. Gee, it's good. If you've never tried it, give it a whirl. I've used to using things like Sunpoil on the farm we used to run in them and wonder why they played up. But yeah, other than that, of course I got a GPS here somewhere, an EPIRB. I carry it in the car. I actually run 2 EPIRBs. I always got an EPIRB in the vehicle that's registered for my small tinny and my 5 metre boat over near the container, and it's registered with AMSA with this. And if you really should ring them and tell them what you're doing, so they know when you're up north and it activates, they go, oh, righto, he's on that road trip doing that trip. Other than that, they ring your missus and they'll go, yeah, he's up there somewhere cruising around the Cape or the Gulf, Northern Territory. But yeah, I always take I've got a couple of EPIRBs. One, only reason I got 2 is the battery ran out in one. I sent it away and it got another battery put in it, which was part of the deal when I bought it. And that was going to take a few weeks and I wanted to do a trip, so I bought a new one. But the new EPIRBs are, I think they're 9 or 10 year battery, and then you throw the whole thing away. And to me that's just sensible, because by the time they get to that age, the aerials and bits and pieces are starting to fade and all the lettering. But yeah, make sure you get that registered at AMSA and update it like I have done on the computer, so it's good for another 2 years. Other than that, I take like I said, I do that cord up, and I take some welding rods, and I got a couple other short cords I put in to make up to use the welder off I've got 2 batteries in the truck, start batteries, and you make them up into a welder. If you want to go even heavier, I seen it the other day on Ronnie Moon's, you put 3 batteries together, and they were using 3.2s or something like that, and that's when you can really lay the beef in and weld something properly. The 270s double Zs, they'll run a 2mm rod's about perfect for them. Yeah, then that's right. Plus I take me chip hammer and me helmet, Weldon helmet. I just take this little one. It just saves me taking me good one. It's just a little glass, just like that one. It just slides in and things sit inside it, and I wrap a couple of gloves in it, and it just slides in amongst the gear good. Oh, I take a bit of baker solder too, just in case things are a bit, when you want to solder something a bit rusty. Yeah, in the boat I always have a normal sounder, which is Al Coden, and I got 2 GPSs. My old Garmin 451S is getting old and a bit white, and so I bought a new one for the tinny, so I just take it as well. So I got a spare. I'm nearly tempted to throw the tinny up on top of the truck, and when I go this year, take the 15 horse Yemi and take the tinny and tow the boat, because you go all that way up there, and because my motor's buddy 10 or 12, 2005 model, the 60 now, you go all that way up there and something goes, it buggers your trip. But I'll just see what the weights are. You got to worry about, you got to cart all that gear, you got to just worry about your weights. Other than that, all right, I'll turn this off, and I'll get it's raining now, but I'll put all this away, and then I'll turn it off, and I'll get the old, and it'll just be things like snatch and straps, and then I'll just go through what I take the spares for that. I should have dug around and got the stuff for the trailer as well. You know, I got spare bowl. Oh, I'll tell you anyway. I'll just do this and I'll put this away. Before I show you the one in the back of the truck, I'll show you this is a little 45 litre, and it's got all my eating gear in it, me plates. I put my knives and forks in a little container like that. Heaps of flopping. I put a heap of tea towels in between them to stop them rattling. My plates, bloody bowls, more plates. Couple of I'd take a heap of these. I generally buy a new set each year. You can buy them up in Woolies in Weipa. They're like that, and they go up to bigger, twice as big. Gosh, they're good. You can put fish in them and put them in the fridge. You know, and, a little bit of cooking oil, like I say. There's a pot. It's got all the coffees and sugars in it. You know, everything you need in there. A bit of, like I said, a bit of washing up liquid, a few pots. Cups, sorry. Shove in there so they make sure they go right down. Yeah, it just seems to be a good size to pack into. Well, now that I've told it out, it won't. Just to make a liar out of me. But it was sitting in there good. Yeah, that's better. But there you go. Yeah, and I like these ones. Phil Morse put me onto them, mate. These are a bit better quality. I was using the old cheap ones from bloody, those little, you know, like super cheap ones and that. And they're white and clear. And of course what happens is, any of those type ones, the sun breaks them down, you know, the UV. Oh yeah, I mightn't be able to see over there, but I always take one axe and a new handle. Take a long handle shovel as well. Yeah, a little bit of gear. I know it's all over the place what I'm talking about, but take bits of oil. Anyway, like I said, I'll do that. This is my 5 metre boat I take up the Cape. I've showed you this before. What I'm going to do is, before April, I'm going to slip the boat off the trailer, do a bit of work on it. Ooh, nearly went tits up. And under here, I'm going to buy put a beam across, a couple of beams, and up as high as I can up underneath the boat there. Then I'm going to buy one of the old Toyota winches that winds and holds the spare tyre up underneath the Toyotas, and then I'm going to winch the spare up underneath there, and then also mount the spare spring up along the chassis with spare shackle bolts. This is where the outboard hits. It's just, you can just get it in and out of there. You slide it in around there like that and it clamps up there. Then I just cover it with this raincoat, keep it from getting wet. Oh yeah, and there's me fishing gears and that. I should take it up the shed, but it's pretty good at, oh, you lift the lid, comes out. They're not as good as the old fishing boxes I used to get years ago. I forget the name of them. Play-Doh. They make them crap now, but I think I was telling you I've got a new key. If you're after a new key, I couldn't get them cut anywhere. You got to get them, you order them from Yamaha. They're only about 28 bucks delivered. You're after new keys for the old girls. Mine, I don't know if I showed you, but every now and then I get a huge catfish and they bring them in and you're doing something with them, they jump off the seat and they bend the key right over and nearly snap them off. So I always carry a spare one. Yeah, I changed this filter here, put a new filter on, but that's what I want to do at the trailer. Carry the spare up underneath. But that's where that spare goes. See where I'm here? My battery, you've always seen other videos and the batteries are down here in the bottom of the boat. What happens if she starts leaking? Floods your bloody boat when you're up the river or something, or out in the water, and your battery's dead. My battery sits up here in the seat. It's going to take a lot of water before you get to that battery. And these seats are bigger, a little bit wider than normal. I had them folded up and they got a full sheet of survey foam in each one, which is more foam than what was in them when she come standard. So I took the foam out from under the seat, under the floor, starting to react against the hull. I think it was from up North Queensland, sitting in the heat, and you got a lot more heat and there's a lot more salinity in the water for some reason. It created that condition for electrolysis. It's not bad, like, you know, I wouldn't have kept it if it was bad, but it's just, yeah, something to be mindful of if you got it under your boat. Just pull it out every 12 months and check it, hose and clean her out. And but I got full sheet in each of the good survey foam, that 100mm thick high density survey foam, not the old polystyrene stuff. Like I said, I'll go through the motor, change the leg oil before I go. New impeller. It's only a few months away now, but you're right. I'll go and pull this one out the back of the car. This is what I'm talking about when I mean you put your handle in here and the winch is up in there, and you winch the white. See how that tyre's winched up on that rope and that chain just there? Well, I want that same set up under the boat. Pull it up underneath out of the road, and when I get to where I am, I'll let it out. So yeah, this is where I'm going to pull out now. This is where all my 14.3 and the fridge is on, and it's cloudy. She's cold. Ooh. There you go. If you don't keep an eye on them, there's something wrong there. I'll have to get back to you, see what's going on here. Okay, I found out what was wrong. My plug got bumped. They must want another couple of Anderson plugs. She's purring away there for a while, had me buggered. I checked all the fuses on the, took the lid off the batteries. My two 140 amp lithium sitting there in that box, and I took the lid off it, checked them, and now all the fuses were good. So yeah, okay, this is just a bit of an idea of, I have another 85 litre Tactic box, and this is some of the gear I carry in it. The tool roll bag doesn't go in it, and the heavy stuff, but I got a little compressor, just a little RV compressor I've had for years. Then in here there's a few straps, a stick of solder in there in case I got to solder up a radiator or something, a bit heavier duty. All different hose clamps and that for radiator hoses. Plus I tow this boat around, I take a caravan, I've got spares eyelets for caravan. In here there's jumper leads, big set of jumper leads, and me snatchy strap, spare power steering oil, brake fluid, radiator coolant. I've got nearly every type of these things here. Spare wheel bearing set. Couple of different plug-in lights for the 12 volt. Crimps for the caravan, sorry. A few electrical connections. A full set of brake hoses, because you've got to remember the flexible brake lines. A puncture repair kit. And I think I got extras of them somewhere. Extra one. Now this is handy. I take this on my boat trailer. Sometimes you get a stick come up, and with that old plumbing set you can put a flare on your steel or stainless steel brake lines. The only way you've got to do it, but you've got to get that torch over here. That's why I carry that. You get this little oxy torch, and before you do it, you heat the end up where you got it flared red hot, and that softens the metal a bit. And then you can put a flare on it good enough that it'll join back up and you got brakes. I've actually you lock her in there, then you got this one locked in position, and you heat her up and you just put a flare in it, and it'll get your brakes going again. So some cable ties. I carry one of these with me in case you go do a survey and they've taken it off and you need air. If you, like me, I got my own compressor, but I just carry one of them just in case. This is for there's a complete set of seals, everything from my caravan. Actually seals for the gear, a few seals, inner axle seals on the Toyota, and a few seals around the gearbox. A couple of two 450 gram cartridges of grease, cleaning rod for my rifle, dunny roll, and because my old girl's done a lot of Ks, I carry a master cylinder for the clutch and a slave. Now you say, oh, why don't you put them in? Well, no, because the other ones are working fine in the old girl. You get a stick come up or something and smash that slave off, you still only got one. You got nothing. Whereas I carry the spares, that one's still working, and I just take them with me, because you can drive a vehicle and get to somewhere without brakes, but you try and get it into gear, you know, and change gears. So I always take that. There's electricates, a good set of O-ring. There's my little O-ring kit, sorry. Heaps of like bulbs and everything there for the back tail lights and stuff. Like I said, that. Some silicone spray. There's my other EPIRB. That's not a GPS EPIRB. This is the GPS EPIRB. I take that, both of them. I always carry a spare fuel filter, and normally two spare oil filter after I've changed the oil, and I always have a couple. I need another fuel filter. This is just a connection for the solar. And that there's my U-bolts and Fisher plate for on my boat trailer when I go away. It goes with that spring I showed you around the back. Good set of sockets. And in here I've got a few other things. Impact driver, smaller ones, a hammer, and a bit of stuff, a set of vice grips go in there. I generally put a couple of gloves or a bit of rag in there like that, just stops them rattling. Sometimes. Oh, and I've got a spare solar regulator. And then I've got the thing that that measures your amps and everything, and then a multimeter. That's only about it. What I take in the truck? Oh, a bit of cable, because this is this overlaps between there's my rings in that roll, screwdrivers, open end rings, scrapers, circuit pliers, wire strippers, side cutters, heaps of gear like that sort of stuff. I know I'd say that's around 30 kilos or so in that bloody box. This goes under the seat of the Toyota, that roll goes into the back, that one goes in the boat. So that's, I can't think of what else I carry. Plus I generally take some fuel doctor as well. and anything else that I think of before I go, I generally chuck her in, you know. But that's my main one. Plus, like I said, shovel. Oh, there's that thing I was looking for, my wife. Sorry, sidetrack you. Yeah, but that's what all fits in that box neatly, is all that stuff. A few straps. I know it's a bit of a pain to get it when you want them, but if I've got, I generally don't use the straps. And these are the size straps here I use to tie my boat down, the 1500 kg ones. And I have them inside a bit of lay flat. I think I've showed you that in different videos. A bit of lay flat irrigation hose so they don't rub off on the side. Oh, like I said, I still take my battery charger. It's not lithium compatible, but it's good enough to get them up. The same with that controller's not lithium compatible, but it's good enough to get your batteries up to 90–95% or something. And then the other, I might actually, before I go this time, I'll wait till Kick-Ass comes on sale and I'll pick up another 40 amp MPP controller. They were down to about 120 bucks. But for the first time, I think, I'm not a great fan of bags, but I think I'm going to put a set of airbags in this with the sleeves on it. And on the main highway going up, I'll run them a bit higher. And then when I hit, I was watching travelling overland travelling, or with Adam, he was saying that you pump them up to about 45 or whatever on his old GQ Nissan, and then on the dirt, he lets them back down to about 20–25, so they've got a bit of give in them. That way they shouldn't crack your chassis, which is fine by me. I don't give it. Once I get up on the hard dirt roads up there, you haven't got to worry about too much. Oh, sorry, there's that bloody... Haven't got to worry about weights and that too much. You know, if they come along and binge and say you're overweight, we'll get the road in decent condition, you know. There's that roll of wire I take from my soldering gun. Pretty big, heavy duty stuff. But yeah, so even though I'm not overweight anyway, I've always take, each year I go up to the weigh bridge at Gympie and I get weighed, and it's about 30–40 bucks. And you know then, but I've had this rig, I've had this all in before, and I'm under by miles generally. You know, a couple 100 kilos here and there. But yeah, that's about it. If I think anything else, I'll put it on video, but plus in the Toyota I carry, there's a Stilson, a big shifter, a lump of water pipe as a breaker bar, and it slides over the end of me bar in the toolbox. Up in here I've got 2 jacks. I run 2 hydraulic jacks, and the gear. One, you know, a Pajero one, and a 4 or 5 ton one for lifting. You know, if you had a lot more, if you had big tandem boats and stuff like that, you'd want a 10 or a 12 ton at least. But I got a 4, and that does mine. I can jack my gear up fully loaded. So, oh, and that's a block of wood. Sorry, I meant to say that's a spare. I take that block of wood wrapped up there. That's what I put the jacks on, to jack on sand and stuff. Plus I've always got bits of ply and stuff in the truck that I can take out. Look at that weather, will you? I was trying to do a film. Look at me mighty little Parson. I know she's only a cheap one, but oh gee, it gives me peace of mind when I'm out in the boat and that's sitting there. Okay, so yeah, that's about what I take. Like I said, I've got to get another 4 or 5 or 6 Jerry's. I'll get them off eBay, not eBay, Marketplace. Oh yeah, and then in there somewhere, I normally take a new universal. I put one in my tail shaft because I didn't like it, so I fitted a new one. So I'll buy a new uni and take a uni with me as well. And I might even that bearing's been in that box for years. I'll check it out. If it's got a little bit funny looking, I might buy a new bearing. And what a lot of people do is they pack them in grease and cryovac them, so they're ready to go, which I think is a good idea. But I might just pack it in grease and put it in a clip seal bag and put it back in the box. If that one's like that, I'll just checking for rust. Like, I've never done a wheel bearing, but after watching Overland Travellers, which is a show I love, they were out in the flopping Cannon stock route and did a back bearing on their 79 series. So one in the party. Oh, and I just got to mention, shout out to Andy Kahn. He dropped in from Darwin's. He was on his way through. His mum lives down here on the coast. He was down saying g'day. Oh mate, good on you, loved it. He's a character, a bit taller than I thought. Skinny looking bugger. No wonder he gets out there and catches the fish. I know I'm getting off the subject, but yeah. Total carnage. Look him up. Barra fisherman in the Northern Territory. Yeah, he's buddy good. And yeah. Another mate going good is Fish Tone. Look him up too. He has good videos. Alright. Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like. If you learn anything there, that's what I carry. I sometimes slip a bit more in, like I said. I probably use 2 or 3. A lot of this gear you don't need to take if you've got new vehicles and that. Oh, sorry, and in this bag here, there's a fire extinguisher. Where is that fire extinguisher? New fire extinguisher here. I carry in the box. And I won't say I got claim to fame to this. I saw this on another show. And I have another fire extinguisher screwed in there. Just there. I got that off 24/7 and it's right there, actually. Right there where you can get a... Oh, and also I carry in the side pockets here duct tape, other screwdrivers, nuts, bolts, little Gerbers, things like that. Yeah, that's what I carry. Like I said, a solar panel on the roof. Me buddy homemade... I just went through this old girl, put all new brakes in her, front and back, new disc rotors, like I said, that was in the last video. There's me buddy Maxtrax homemade, there's 10 there. All right for that, thank you. And hopefully I get to go north soon. As soon as this wet season's over, get back crabbing, sorry, I'll put the pots back in. Yeah, but I've... This bag here I got from Stockton, and to me it need to be a bit longer. They're a bit too short. I can't put me big long screwdrivers in it. It's really peeved me off, so I carry them up under the seat of the Toyota. And I didn't see if they had, I was after that mesh one so you can sort of see in there. I like that idea, and they didn't. They probably got them now, but that one's 30 centimetres. You really want the 40 centimetres long, and then your big Stanley screwdrivers will fit in there. Okay, catch you later. I've waffled on enough.